Hey, you've been standing there like an apple tree from the orchard for over 2 hours now. I'm freezing, and I'm the one near the fireplace. If you're not cold, you are a literal psychopath. No one's coming to check in at the inn at 9 o'clock during a power outage. It's way too cold for cars to even be on the streets without frosting over. Every shop in town has no power and no heat, just like we do. Don't expect anyone else to show up or for anything new or interesting to happen. It never does. You should know that by now. Seriously? You shouldn't have to wait and stare at the door for the rest of the night. I know you're on the job, but why don't you take a break from working? If you come over to the fire, I'm sure you'll warm up in 10 minutes. Come on, you're not even gonna hear me out? I know we're not on the best of terms after you blew up at me after I left flower prints on your station. You may very well hate me, but I'll suck up my ego to help you keep warm. I honestly don't care if you refuse. I'll do what I have to. I might be small, but I will carry this massive blanket to that front desk and wrap you up like a burrito if you say no. Thank goodness. You probably want to be as far away from me as possible, so here's the other end of that blanket. You're uncomfortable? I get it. It's not like I want to be in this situation with you either. If I didn't at least offer to help you, you'd definitely get hypothermia. My parents would rip me a new one if one of their employees turned into an ice cube and I did nothing but watch as they froze to death. It also means you wouldn't be able to work here anymore, and I know just how much you absolutely love this job. That's right. This is a temporary job until you find something better. You've told me this so many times. I wonder why you even moved to Whiteoak instead of finding somewhere else you would rather be. Was there nothing that you wanted to do in Crimson Valley? Was it that boring? Did you choose to be a front desk receptionist at an inn for no reason? Why did you even want to work at an inn? If you wanted to work in customer service, a 5-star hotel seems much more interesting. You also don't seem much like a people person, if I'm to be honest. You're seriously not going to answer my questions or comment on my half-baked insults? Fine. I won't bother you about your personal stuff anymore. But prepare to have your ear talked off. You know, I can tell if someone grew up in a place where the weather is cold. From seeing how you're dressed, I know you're from a warm area of Crimson Valley. You have several layers of clothing, as well as that bulky brown puffer jacket. And those giant gloves. I personally wouldn't wear those around here, but it's clearly a fashion choice. Even without the power and central heating, it doesn't get that cold. My family and I took a trip to Anchorage, Alaska during the winter once. It gets way colder up there. You'd think the power goes out all the time because of the temperature, but they've got this excellent electricity system. My parents in this town weren't so old school with their technology, we'd still be able to keep our power on and running. We still had the original electric wiring from the 1930s. Nice historical fact, but incredibly redundant on a super cold night like this one. I couldn't imagine living in Alaska full time. I prefer having 4 distinct seasons. Speaking of seasons, I'm quite distraught that autumn is over. It's honestly the best time of year to pick apples from the orchard trees. If it's too late in the year, the apples get all flowery and taste weird. My parents keep wanting me to bake my award-winning apple pies. But unfortunately, for some reason, it always slips their mind that the types of apples that I like to use are out of season past October. It sucks because I'd like to bake something for the holidays, but I don't know. I suppose I'll just have to think of something else besides apple pie. It's not like my parents care about that small stuff. It's work, work, work. Run the business, talk to investors, let Laurel take care of the inn, leave Penny to the baking and whatever we don't want to do. Laurel's their favorite child, you know? She's the oldest, if that wasn't obvious. She went to business school out of state. She thinks she's so smart, but she's not that creative.
I'm not creative? How dare you say that? I took graphic design courses at university, so I can make the new logo for the inn. Did I forget to mention that I went to university? You bake pies. You follow a recipe. I could bake one of your pies if I wanted to. That's not creative. Also, why are you over here? Shouldn't you be at your station? Your shift isn't over yet. I initially stopped by to check on you, but it seems I'm interrupting something.
No, you didn't interrupt anything, Laurel. I've been talking to a wall.
I'm just surprised to see you two bundled up together. Considering just the other day, you're yelling at each other over... what was it? Flour.
It was a tiny bit on my thumb that got onto the front counter and he cleaned it up right after.
You made a mess, Penny. As you usually do. So, why aren't you working right now?
It's too cold to do anything that uses our brains. He's taking a break by the fire to warm up.
He can answer for himself. But, regardless of the circumstances, I really don't care. As junior manager, it's my job to keep my employees on track. And he is one of my employees. You want to know about being on track, Penny. You complain about everything to me. I want to do anything that I ask of you anyway. I expect more from him, though.
You won't have any employees if they freeze to death. I wanted him to feel more comfortable. He chose to come over here. He didn't have to. May have urged him a bit, but...
A bit?
But, either way, he's feeling better now. Right? That's a nod. That's the most movement from him I've seen in the past few minutes.
Were you defending him just now? You wanted him to be comfortable?
Well, yeah, I said what I said.
Our parents won't disapprove of this relationship.
Relationship?
Uh-huh. Between the two of you.
What? No, I'm not even his friend. You must be talking about the hot orchard worker you dated a couple years ago.
I only broke up with that guy because you snitched on me. I was perfectly fine until you found out and tattled. Her parents were not happy, by the way. My ex was fired from the inn. So, be warned.
Stop it. He doesn't have to be worried about anything. There's nothing between us.
Anyway, I hope your friends had a good time in Whiteoak this year. It's unfair that I don't get to invite my friends over for the entire season.
You don't even have friends out of town. Your local friends stay at the inn all the time.
Whatever. Just take the rest of tonight off. Be up early tomorrow for the sunrise shift. Good night.
Oh my god, okay. Well, can't say I'm sad that she's gone now. Anyway, sorry that you have to deal with her so often. Must suck to have her as your boss. At least we can both relate to not liking her so much. Yeah, do you remember the two girls who checked in earlier this year and stuck around for the fall? Crystal and Aiden. Those are my friends Laura was referring to. We met over a summer on a trip to the city and we instantly became friends. We bonded over loving the autumn season, which was funny because we met in the summer. When they found out that my parents owned an apple orchard in Whiteoak, they were ecstatic. We've been in contact ever since, even though they live across the state. I invite them every autumn to visit the orchard and stay at the inn. I was hoping to spend more time with them this year, but they brought their friends and significant others. I am happy for Aiden and Crystal's relationships, but I've honestly been lonely this season. Wait, why am I telling you any of this? I know you don't care about anything that I have to say. I won't annoy you with my relationships and friendship troubles. I'm surprised you haven't said a single word to me all night. I guess I prefer that you're quiet, rather than complaining about how loud and obnoxious I am. I don't hate you. You know I don't hate you. I actually enjoy your company quite a bit. Yeah, you're so quiet and reserved that we've never really gotten the chance to have a real, genuine conversation. I mess up one small thing, and you get upset and call me short. So, yeah. This has been kind of nice, though. Even though it's very one-sided. I wish you would say something. I'm glad you think I'm not that annoying. It contradicts your actions recently, but I believe you. I can see you have a really good insight and are very kind towards the people you trust. We've had our ups and downs, and I do hope that someday you can trust me. I don't like being your rival here. I genuinely want to get to know you more. I feel that through our arguments, I've learned quite a bit about you already. Now, tonight, you've learned more about me. It's alright. I accept your apology. It's been a long day today, and you must have been really cold. You probably never experienced a blackout like this one before, so you had every right to not respond to me. I need to be honest. I like you a lot. This is gonna sound so weird and cheesy, but you've been, pun fully intended, the apple of my eye for a long time. I don't know how you feel. Wait, are you being serious? Okay, I wasn't expecting my feelings to be reciprocated. Isn't this moving, like, too fast? I just confessed to you, and, I just wasn't expecting you to feel the same way too, so... That makes sense. All this time, I thought you hated me, but you were just trying to do your job well. I thought you hated this job. Why would you try so hard to please my parents and Laurel unless you stuck around the inn just for me? Don't worry about the threat of my parents firing you. They love that you have a good work ethic and that you're a good person, obviously. They'll keep you around regardless of when we're in a relationship. Because I'm gonna make them. Yeah. Yes. Of course, you can kiss me.